All right, brothers, we've unmasked what we've been carrying. We've rewired some self-talk, and we've learned how to live in the and. Now it's time to build something solid. Because without a foundation, you'll confuse motion with progress. This lesson is called the Provider's Manifesto. Not because I'm giving you a speech, but because you're going to create it yourself. What does it mean to provide? When we hear the word provider, most of us think money only. But provision means to foresee, to see ahead, and not just paying bills, it's preparing space. Emotional provision is making home a safe place to talk. Mental provision is protecting your peace before the day starts. Financial provision is planning so your money works while you rest. That's what this is. This brotherhood calls it the whole man. Let's be honest, a lot of us became providers out of necessity and survival, not out of design. We learned to grind, to hustle, and do whatever it takes. But no one taught us how to rest while being responsible. You're not just a paycheck. You're a blueprint. What you're building now is what your children will stand on later. All right, let's walk through the 7 habits that keep your foundation strong. They're simple, they're practical, and they're repeatable. Number 1, start with silence. The first hour you have, start it with God. Start it with quiet reflection, and before the world starts talking to you. Some of the most peaceful moments are as soon as you wake up, right before you start getting low. Number 2, share light weekly. Tell someone your story or a lesson that you learned from this week. Number 3, follow promptings. If something in your spirit says reach out, do it. Obedience builds timing. One of the things I always tell my son and other people is there's that small voice inside of your head that tells you to do something, and you can ignore it or you can be obedient. Number 4, guard your integrity. Live by your values when no one is watching. And that goes back to 3 too. Follow your promptings. That small voice will tell you some of those things to do and how to live by your values when nobody's watching. But again, the more you listen to it, the easier it gets. The more you ignore it, the harder it gets. Number 5, give proportionately. Generosity is how we prove we trust abundance. And I'm going to tell you a story in a second, but this is how we prove we trust abundance, because if we're holding on to it, that means we don't trust that we're going to get more. We want to hold on to this just in case. And I know a lot of us grew up having to hoard things because we didn't know where the next was coming from. But now we have to open our minds and give generously, because the more you give, the more flows to you. Rest regularly. Schedule a Sabbath, no phone, no grind, and no guilt. Number 7, teach somebody. Legacy is duplicated discipline. Notice, none of these 7 things require a raise or a new degree. They require alignment, and alignment creates overflow. There was a time where I was working multiple jobs, trying to provide. I was exhausted, getting sick, not seeing my family, and my money still didn't stretch in the places that I wanted it to stretch. One day I realized, through prompting, listening to that voice, that I had no boundaries, and I was not trusting God. I was trusting in my work ethic and my ability to get it done. I was out of alignment, and I was trying to make things happen. I was operating from pressure, not from principle. When I started putting these 7 habits into place, my finances and my peace both shifted. And that's what I want for you. Here's your mission. Download the Provider's Manefesto worksheet. You're going to write a personal declaration, your own code for how you show up as a provider, a protector, and a planner for the people you love. Then grab the 7 Habits tracker and practice one habit each day this week. Track it honestly, not for perfection, but for progress. Post online from your manifesto in our community, and let's see what real leadership looks like in your own words. This is where manhood turns into legacy. Not by what we say, but by what we sustain. I'll see you in part 2, where we continue to take the mask off.